from the depths of Chicago, live and direct, it's the Rico No Suave Show, starring Rico No Suave, with co-host Valerie Malesio, featuring special guests every Saturday. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is Rico No Suave. Ritmo.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the show. Your boy Rico No Suave here on a 1-2 with each and every one of you guys. Oh my God, it is Thursday, and we're doing it Thursday style today, everybody here in Chicago and also around the world, whatever your time zone is. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am super happy to actually be back with each and every one of you guys, and I'm here with none other than my co-host, Valerie Malesio. What's up, Valerie?
Hey, hey.
What's going on? How you doing?
Thursday.
Happy Thursday it is.
It's a beautiful, beautiful Thursday. We're happy to be in the studio today.
Yes.
We have a great interview lined up. Super excited.
Man, me too. Me too. I'm super excited. I'm super excited. So
we're not going to use the E word. No more.
Excited?
Yeah, ecstatic.
Oh, ecstatic.
Remember
Yes.
that?
I forgot about that. Yeah,
That was the
ecstatic.
new
Right.
one for a while, but
Hey,
now
that was my thing,
Right.
man. That was my thing because
I think
Mike
we moved
Tyson,
on.
he used to put it out there like that.
Yeah.
My man Mike Tyson used to put it down like that. But you know,
We're okay
I'm
with
still
excited.
I'm still ecstatic. You know, I still got ecstatic in my vocabulary. But welcome everybody, man. We got a great show for you guys today. We have a great guy with us. So we're gonna actually introduce him like right away because
Yes.
you know why?
we're gonna drive right in.
Man, we're going to drive. Oh, I like that. That was a good. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to drive right in. I like that one. Hey, coming to your TV
Woo!
or your PC near you, we have a professional race car driver. He in Las Vegas, my second home, away from home. I love this guy, man. I love his energy because I guess if you have to drive fast, you got to be fast. That's what I say. This guy, man, has so much great style when he's driving, and also big shout out to Auto Parts for Less, in which he represents as well
Yes.
too, and all of the race car drivers around the world, and also all of the race car drivers, especially him, praying to dear baby Jesus to make sure that he finished on that finish line safely, baby. Because you know what? If you're not first, you're last. I want you guys to go in your car, rum up that engine, put on Fast and the Furious if you want to, or even tell a nigga nice. Because my man is in the building, Matt Jaskol.
Yes.
What's up, Matt?
Yeah.
Are you there with me, sir?
I am here, guys.
Hey!
Woo-hoo-hoo.
There he is.
There he is. What's up, man? How you doing?
Best intros I think I've ever had in my life.
It was a good one. It was a good one.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, when it's time for race car driving, I am a fiend of race cars, man. I still haven't got down to Indy 500, but I'm so happy and privileged to have you here on the show with us today, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
The honor is all mine. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, Matt Jaskol, let's get right into it, baby. I want to know a lot about as far as how you got started. So tell me, how did you get involved with race car driving?
Man, so like a lot of racing drivers, it started back when I was practically a baby, man. So father, he was a boat racer, and when I was only 5 years old, I had an older brother, and he was starting to race motocross, and I got jealous. I told my dad, I was like, well, man, I want to be racing too. So only the age of 5 or 6 years old, my brother and I both, we started racing motocross, racing dirt bikes. And we were racing dirt bikes right here in Las Vegas. And I took it that way to about 10 years old, but I was racing against some of the biggest names in motocross. I was at the track with Bubba Stewart and Travis Strana, some of the biggest names, if anybody's motocross dirt bike fans out there. And motocross was a dangerous sport, and I realized even at a young age it wasn't going to quite be as good and as crazy as some of these other stars out there. And so I switched over to four wheels at only the age of 10 years old, racing go-karts. And
Wow.
Oh, man. Nice. You know, go-karts is one of my favorite things to ride on, too. I've always wanted to build my own go-kart. Did you have a homemade go-kart, or did you actually buy it from the store?
No, man. So listen, the kind of karts we were racing, the sport of karting is actually like the biggest little sport in the world, I call it. It's a multi-million-dollar industry.
Wow.
These are not the kind of karts you think of. Like, these are very professional, high-level, high-end karts where some of the biggest names, Dave Earnhardt, Jim Gordon, Formula 1 driver, Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton, they all started in kart racing. And these are, 100 mile an hour. Most of the top level karts are all built in Europe. A lot of them are built out of Italy. Like mini Formula 1 cars is what they are. So not what it was always tough growing up because I raced go-karts for a lot of years. And, you tell somebody who raced go-karts like, oh, yeah, I've driven a go-kart. It's like, probably not the same exact one like I've driven.
Yours was a little more souped up than ours was when we were kids. But
a little bit more intense.
We would be out there trying to build them with whatever wood we can find. But we didn't have, the horsepower that you did, in your go-kart.
I would have loved to be your friend back in the day.
Man, I get a ride. Let me just
These are
drive
some.
it.
the level of carts these days, they're pretty sophisticated. I mean, we have, to build a fully professional go-kart, like I said, I mean, it's rules like right out of Formula One. You can't just build your own. They have to be built by a manufacturer. They have to be serialized with special numbers and tags. And the motors, are all very special. I mean, a full-built, race-prepared professional go-kart is pushing the neighborhood of nearly $20,000. I mean, this is like it's basically the entry into professional motorsports, and it's upsetting as well. The real side of things is it's expensive to try to become a professional race car driver these days is all but unrealistic. Sadly, I mean, the cost to become a driver is like we wouldn't be able to do it today. My family can come from a lot of money, and if we tried to start where we did, 20 plus years ago, we wouldn't be able to even come close to affording it. And I don't know how some of these young drivers do it today. And it can be a little bit disenchanting because it's not easy, and just like a lot of things in life, it takes to be a professional race car driver these days. Just call it what it is. It does take money.
A lot of money.
I'm sure,
yeah.
man.
The days of building a little go-kart and just using your feet.
Yes.
Pedal through.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't cut it anymore. You need all that horsepower you can get.
Yeah, I mean, go-kart racing for like some of the biggest names that were back in the days of like the Indy 500, like you just said, even the very first winners of the Indy 500 going back to the early 1900s. Karting was invented and really became popular in the 50s. And some of the biggest names in Formula One, in Indy 500 driving, they all started in go-karts. And back then, it was a little bit more realistic to kind of build your own stuff in like a homemade race shop. But those days are long, long gone, decades and decades ago. It's all very high level, very expensive motorsports these days.
Right.
Man, hey, man, I'm just so happy to know you. That's what I got to say.
We're happy you made it through.
Right. I'm happy that you're here. I mean, so one of the things, Matt, is understanding as far as with racing from at a young age and actually always having an engine around you. Did you get a chance also while growing up to see how the engines was actually built as well?
Yeah, man. I know this is an upbeat show, but you just touched on a note for me. My uncle, who was kind of a legend in kart racing, he just passed away. In his mid 80s, he led an amazing life. He just passed away literal days ago, and he was my very. Thank you. I mean, it was an amazing human being and truly an absolute legend in the sport, and not to mention what a great human being he was. He was an engine builder here in Las Vegas, and he was very well known in the karting world. And he helped put me in my very first go-kart here in Las Vegas when I was only 10 years old. And he was my engine builder because, again, we're talking high level, 10 years old, you're essentially trying to become a professional. I mean, I turned professional at only the age of 14 years old going into cars where I won my first scholarship in a racing school called Skip Barber and the Skip Barber Racing Academy, which I moved into regular cars. But anyways, my uncle, I would sit in the shop with him every single night for hours and watch him tear down my motors and put them together. And later on in my life, racing racing into my 20s and shifter, what were called shifter kart go-karts. It was, a mini Formula One car, 100 plus miles an hour, full on like electrical telemetry that you could download onto a computer, 6-speed manual transmission that was much like an F1 car. It was just lift and shift, no clutch. It was, again, very, very sophisticated stuff. And I was able to, full on like electrical telemetry that you could download.
Wow. That's what
I can't hear.
What I like is with your stories. Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you guys. Got me?
Oh, okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
That. Yeah.
What I like with your stories is it's so like deep rooted in your family. Like your dad was a racer. It sounds like your uncle was an engine builder. It's like everybody did like something in that alluded to some sort of sport with racing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like of course you were like, okay, I'm racing something.
If you didn't grow up with the name Andretti Unser or Earnhardt. You know, if you weren't born into it was a family. You needed an entire army and an entire family behind you to make it possible.
To make it possible.
Wow,
I love that.
wow, I like that.
I love how there's so much a part of your journey. You know, it's
Yeah.
not the whole, oh, I was on my own, I had to do it myself. Like, your story is real collaborative.
Yeah.
You know, that the family helped you out.
Maybe some people did it on their own, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody. But if somebody tries to tell a story that, yeah, I made it in motorsports all by myself in modern era, let's say like late '90s to now, they're probably lying because it takes a big.
I love that. I love that.
Did you give him a face? Did you give him a face like, okay?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Trust me, I've had the people look at me, try to tell me. Maybe try to embellish the story, the sympathy that they might be looking for, get the ride, and you're like, no, stop. No.
So, we got a few other questions. So let's shift gears a little bit with the stunt, right? So let's talk about that.
I was reading that you did some stunt driving for films. Is that correct?
No, that sounds scary. I would never do anything like
Now can I give the face?
So listen. So you think motorsports is a tough industry? Trying to break into doing stunt driving in Hollywood and the Screen Actors Guild, that is a whole nother world that I'm actually just now trying to like break into a little bit more. But I have been lucky to do some stunt driving on a couple of low budget films, and I've done some pretty cool commercials and stuff like that where recently a friend of mine who put me on the program, we did some stunt driving for a local movie that's going to be called Action. It was like, it looks pretty funny, super low budget. Like they filmed this movie with $500,000 and
wow.
I've seen the trailer and it's actually incredible what they're putting together. But I got to do two nights of chasing in police cars, and we were smashing into each other. We rolled one of them at the end. It was about sometime end this year, early next year, and that should be simple stuff.
Were you so when it comes to stunt driving, I'm always like, be careful, right? It's like how does stunt driving work when it comes to like a crash or actually zipping between buildings and things like that? I know because you're a professional race car driver, you already know the road,
right.
but when
Right.
it comes to like, had you actually had to like jump out of the car while the car actually went crashing and doing kind of like a Jason Statham type deal?
No, I mean, I wish, and you know what? I'm not opposed to doing that here at some point. Luckily, I was able to just, it would take almost too long to explain my life story of how, and more importantly, the why, and where my career has gone and how I just started racing NASCAR recently in the last 2 years. Just like everybody's got a story in life. My life was set back a little bit by family setbacks, by the financial collapse in 2008 and
Just
family health issues between my mother and my father. So racing is still the primary focus in motorsports, but I do love the stunt driving and Hollywood stuff. It is just very, very cool to me. So I haven't done any crazy stunts where I'm jumping out of cars or anything like that, but just, again, some very skilled driving where I'm drifting cars around or, we're smashing cars into each other or rolling or crashing some vehicles. So I've done some of that stuff. But to answer your question, it is the most dangerous part of my day, Rico, was driving to the set. Okay,
that traffic, boy. Woo! You see, you don't get to zip line between the cars,
right.
in real life like you can on the set. I would imagine that's like so cool to be able
it is a closed course. We have police officers blocking off the streets. We have roll cages and crazy seatbelts and safety gear on site and medical on site in case something happens. My drive on the freeway on the I-15 here in Las Vegas to get to the set was far more life-risking than actually any kind of stunt drive.
We don't have to wear gear.
That's the scary part. Right. You can't even get a vest on, to pad yourself. You gotta just be a normal human. Just forget the word.
ignorance is bliss, okay? And like driving down the road, you think stunt driving is dangerous. No, you just risk your life with a bunch of other people that have no idea.
Try merging lanes.
They take you out of the moment. It's like
that's dangerous.
Man, that's awesome. That's really awesome, man. So when we talk about there's a lot of things we want to ask. I mean, there's so much we want to talk to you about. I mean, I just wish I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to go down to Vegas just to sit down with you and just talk.
Yeah.
So autopartsforless.com.
Yes.
It's huge. I really love seeing you guys. Can we throw up his picture and his jacket? The jackets are so smooth, dude. I'm a fashion guy and I love fashion, but when I saw this, oh man. That is just so freaking cool to have an outfit like that. But then you guys also have a jacket, right? Don't you guys wear jackets as well?
Nope. That's just a normal racing suit.
Okay.
It's 2 to 3 layers of what's called Nomex, which is fireproof. It's mandatory, and the suits are all manufactured, overseas usually, and even the patches are special, like fireproof. So you'll either have embroidery, or in this case, this suit was actually like a special type of screen printing, but it's actually fireproof as well. So you get all your sponsor logos on there. Everything you need on there for the commercial side of things, but it's also mandatory for safety. So from head to toe, those shoes I'm wearing are special fireproof driving shoes. The helmet I'm holding is obviously, that helmet alone is about a $5,000 helmet that has, a lot of special technology, carbon fiber, lightweight, a lot of cool stuff going on.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's such a
man. I'm so happy you're wearing it, bro. I mean,
so legit, it's not just for show, even though it looks amazing.
Yes.
But I mean,
for your safety.
For safety.
Yep. It's all mandatory stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we want to walk outside with fireproof around Chicago.
That's
just
how
to
we
make
were feeling today. Today is pretty rough out there.
Yeah, it's hot outside. Right?
We could use your gear.
Right.
So I'm gonna ask you a little bit
did
about.
Did he freeze up? Are you
We still
there?
I'm still here. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
So I'm gonna ask you a little bit about the skydiving.
Okay.
Skydiving. How did you get into that?
I fell into it. You see what I did there?
No pun intended. It just came from out of the sky.
Yeah. It's interesting, just to get it out of the way. Do you know what the most difficult part of skydiving is?
What's that?
It's the ground every time.
I'm sure.
Wow. I just walked right into that one, didn't I?
That was a good one.
I just walked right into that one.
Dear baby Jesus, my fault.
So it's kind of it's a long story, but to make a long story long, like I always say, so I was working at a race. I was the chief instructor of a cool, pretty premier racing Ferrari racing school here in Las Vegas, and one of the owners was a extreme skydiver, wingsuit pilot, and helicopter pilot, and he was the one that guided me into it and got me into my first skydive, which was a little bit scary. But I was turning 30 years old, and I figured, now's the time, and it kind of took over my life. I didn't expect to fall in love with the sport like I did.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I've always wanted to try it. I've never had an opportunity to skydive, but it's still high priority on my bucket list. But I really do want to try it.
So check it out. He offered.
I tell people.
He just said invite to Vegas, which is I'm okay with.
Yep.
I love Vegas.
Yep.
So
I'm
definitely gonna do that.
It should be on your monthly list, not your bucket list.
Whoa! Come on, man. That's what I love about you, bro. That's what I love about you.
We should be diving at least once a month.
Yes.
Is that what
Yes.
You should be diving at least once a month. That is a forever bucket list.
Do you remember your very first jump? Your skydive?
It's kind of funny because I remember just basically blacking out. I was genuinely scared when I first came. If you watch the video, I wish we had it to put it up. He gets you to the door and he's got a camera on his hand and he kind of puts a camera in your face and he's like, "Are you ready?" It looks something like this. I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready." that was my first skydive.
It just looked. Are you saying it just looked kind of weird and smudgy all the way through?
You're falling in your cheeks and your face, and you can see there's just absolute terror. It's just petrified. And then after about, you just have this look of like, oh my God, and I'm gonna die. And then about 5 seconds into it, you're like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like videos of people skydiving. And
yep,
you're right. I mean, for a second they're like, oh, and then like the face goes kind of crazy, and then they're just screaming, and you're like,
There's kind of
a. Do it, but...
So as a side job, I also am a professional skydiver. So I'll film outside video, or I'll even do tandems. And something that's actually spiritual to me, something I genuinely love, is watching people in the door of an airplane, and they just have this look on their face of like, oh my God, this isn't normal. I'm gonna die, or they're just absolutely terrified, and they're about to leave an airplane, and they don't get to land in it, And so they exit out of this plane, and I film people, and watching people's facial expressions change from sheer terror to absolute joy. Is such a unbelievable experience. I wish more people could see what I see, and it's a spiritual thing. It's just watching that moment makes me smile so much. And so it's such a genuine joy of seeing people experience that.
Man.
You look so free, like.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Like, I can't wait to try it. Are you gonna
jump?
I'm gonna jump.
You're gonna jump?
Matt, hey, if you there with me, you can smudge the camera, bro, in my face so I can look crazy for the first time. And then I'll just continue to dive and be like, let's go, baby. Right?
Yeah.
And I just want to get to that moment.
We can air it on the show.
Valerie, like, if you do it, like, even if you're like, no, that sounds like go. We're going anyways. I'm pushing you.
I changed my mind.
Oh, sounds a lot like.
Actually, you know what? Because we gonna do something real nice. Because if all three of us jump at the same time, we're gonna hold hands and go into circles and all of that. We want to do it with style.
Man,
you know what I mean?
Those stunts that they do in Vegas when they're in the air like that, like the Elvises that jump out.
Oh, so
parachute and all that. Those are kind of cool.
I was a flying Elvi. I got to do that with the original flying Elvis.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
nice!
Wow. That is so cool.
Hey, you got to send me some pictures of that.
Listen to this. I got to share one of the mentor, a great friend of mine. He is part of the flying Elvi, and they do, like, charity jumps and commercial, like movies and stuff. So just if you guys remember, even when I was a bit young, but Honeymoon in Vegas, right? So that's where the flying are famous from, the Nicolas Cage movie, The Honeymoon in Vegas. Yep. So one of the original, so I got to skydive with one of the original stuntman. Pretty cool stuff. So yeah, it's just another thing to add to the crazy list of stuff I've done is I've been a flying Elvi.
Say that. Hey, do me a favor. Can you repeat that? You kind of broke up a little bit. Can you repeat that last part? After
who you
Nicolas
did the jump
Cage?
with?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So for anybody that, I was a little bit young also, but for anybody who remembers Honeymoon in Vegas with Nicolas Cage, that's what made the Flying Elvi, or the Flying Elvis, as most people know, really famous. And I got to skydive with one of the original Flying Elvis. One of the original.
Wow.
That's hot, bro. That's hot, man.
Did you have the lights on you and everything? Like, don't they light up?
We didn't have the lights, but we did a charity jump into the Bahamas a couple years ago before the pandemic, after they got devastated by the hurricane. And it was put on by Bass Pro Shops, and it was an amazing charity. And so there was about 10 of us flying Elvi, and we had smoke though. We popped smoke on our feet.
How cool is that?
That's hot,
yeah, we did. It was incredible.
Oh man,
that
the
is
bomb,
so
bro.
cool.
Oh my God, we just super excited for you, man. We're super excited for you, and we love everything that you're actually doing. But we do got some shout outs here real quick. My man John T from
John T.
Say hello. Welcome everybody to Awesome Thursday. We have Melissa Martinez. She says hello, Matt Jaskol. Eileen Love Lady in Red says hello, thumbs up. She says she's really loving it. So yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
So John T for free says when we were talking about your the bike when you used to race bikes, He said, I had a mini bike growing up, and I'm lucky that was all the power I had. A mini bike. I thought he was going to say like the little trucks with the little battery that the kids have.
Oh, wow.
My kids have those. That's as far as I've gone.
Power wheel.
The Power Wheels.
The Power Wheels. Yeah.
My daughters have Jeeps that they race each other, you know. Other than that, that's all we have.
Man. So I got one more question. Then I'm going to let you go because I know you're in Vegas right now, right? That's where you're at?
Yes, I am, yeah.
I wish I was there with you, bro.
He's just double checking.
Yeah, I just double checking. You know, I check a lot of people from Vegas, you know? So, your biggest race competition. Now, I know I've never been to the Indy 500, but your biggest race competition, what was that like?
I've never had an opportunity to race the Indy 500 yet, because I still believe it's going to happen. It's not easy to do that race. I've actually spotted, for people who don't know what spotting is where you're talking on the radio and you're basically the eyes for the driver the entire time. So I've actually spotted for Marco Andretti, Mario Andretti's grandson. I have spotted for Marco Andretti at the Indy 500 for 4 different years. And I raced at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway during other support races, but never for the Indy 500 yet. Okay. And I, the biggest race was probably doing my very first ever NASCAR race, for Auto Parts for Less. AutoPartsForLess.com. The owner is a friend of mine for 21 years that I met in go-kart racing when I was only 15 years old. Wow. And now he's made it possible for me to be in NASCAR, the highest level of motorsports in America, essentially. Yeah. And so when I did my very first NASCAR that was TV, Fox Sports, and so that was a big going. If you asked again, the biggest victory in my life is it wasn't Indy 500, but as a young driver, I was racing for Red Bull, a Red Bull F1 development driver in my younger years in the early 2004, and I won a race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. During the Formula One weekend, I was racing the Junior Formula Car Series. It was what's called support, Junior Support Series for Formula One. I was racing on the same track on the same day as the Formula One race and won. And to win as an American, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is a very special thing. Very few human beings have ever had the opportunity to race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and far less have ever, taken a win there. So to win there and kiss the bricks at Indy and have my family, my father there, I cried. I mean, that was probably one of the most special wins of my life, which was a very, very long time ago. But one of the most recent races of life was now.
That's high, bro. That's high. Oh, man. That sounds like an emotional time, as far as with doing certain, big races like that, or just participating, in regards to spotting and things like that. That's really cool. And it's just a closer step just to get there, right? That one step closer just to get there. And you're definitely going to get there, man. I have to say, by you actually being, a professional race car driver, but also doing, movies. You did a movie called Castaway as well, too, right?
Yeah. It was a reality
show.
A reality show.
It was, yeah. It wasn't a contest show. It was like a social experiment. Castaways, did involve buying a deserted jungle island without food or shelter for nearly months.
I saw that.
Did you have Wilson? Was Wilson there?
Yeah, I joked about that. I bought a Wilson, volleyball, didn't on the island, but I packed one, yes.
Did you have Wilson?
Wilson! Right.
Again, I wish we could have the clip. So when I wasn't allowed to tell anybody really much about it, but I did a cryptic Instagram story, and I said, all right, I'm packing my island journey, and to make some comedy, I threw a jar of peanut butter, some underwear, and a Wilson inside and I was like, that's it, I'm packed, I'm ready to go.
I love it.
I'm ready to go.
Man,
I'll send you a photo. I looked like Tom Hanks, man.
Oh, man, that'd be cool. Yeah, send that to me. I would love to see that.
I made it 42 days in a jungle without food or shelter. I lost about 32 pounds. It was not Survivor. It was wild. It was a pretty life-changing experience for sure.
Would you do it again?
I would. It was the greatest, most painful, most difficult, most emotional experience of my life, and I would absolutely do it again.
There you have it.
My man.
Yeah.
My man. Well, if you ever, do it again, and you know my number, you got my number, I'll send you some food. You know what I mean? I'll send you a Survivor pack without somebody knowing.
And peanut butter.
Peanut butter, yes sir. Peanut butter, jelly, right? I'll send them both.
They'll be like, why is there a UPS guy walking through the jungle?
Those UPS guys are dedicated, man.
I know, right?
I'll
make sure I have that tracking number too.
Amazon, that'd be the one more dedicated. Like, man, I'm in the jungle.
Well, Matt, man, it was great talking to you, but I got something for you. And because you are a gem of the world, I got a shirt, man. I got a shirt for you. So
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hey, you know what? We're going to make it fireproof. You know what I mean? Because
all right.
in the car, we're going to make it fireproof for you. Right?
With my life, I'll put it to test. I'll put it to the test.
I was just joking. That's the face you should have made for me. By saying it's not fireproof. But Matt, this shirt right here means a lot to us, giving it to you. Because you are a famous race car driver, and plus for us kids that actually wanted to have a go-kart, but you guys actually had the real go-karts back in the day, and we actually look up to people like you that we didn't know that there was really big-time go-karts during our time, right?
I learned that today.
So I have to say to you, Matt Jaskol, man, keep doing what you're doing, man, and hopefully one day we'll see you in Hollywood from the show. And hopefully we'll be able to interview you on that red carpet or wherever that you may be. But definitely this is not the last time we keep in contact with you. We're going to keep in contact with you all the time, man, because we want to see exactly where you're at, how you're doing it, and if we're ever in LA or, I'm going to be in Vegas in August.
Okay.
So I'm just letting you know that now.
August,
the second week. I'll be in Vegas the second week.
We'll chat, man. I know some pretty cool studios and stuff, so we might have to talk ahead of time, and let's do a Vegas. Let's have you do a show here in Vegas, and a different location. And
I guess we're going to Vegas.
We're making it happen.
Matt, you know what? If we do that, I'll bring the shirt with me and another one. All right. So if we're gonna do that, I'm totally game with doing that, man. And once again, this shirt, it does mean a lot to us, but it also means a lot for us giving it to you as well, being on the show with us.
Absolutely.
Is it an extra medium? I'm kind of a small guy. So
extra medium? I didn't know they have an XL. I didn't know they had an XL. I didn't know they had an XL. I got to check. I got to check with my distributor. But I can see what I got. I got a new batch coming in, so I do have a small. I do have a small, but not extra. I got mediums coming in too. So
I'm probably small.
Extra medium.
All right, cool, my man. So do you have any? So we're gonna put up we got your website up, mattjaskol.com. Everybody, that's where you'll find my man. All of the information about him. Where he's at, what he's doing. You might even see a picture of me and him on there one day, but make sure you guys check him out, right? Check him out.
Yeah,
and
or my first skydive when that happens.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I want to say I love the show. I love what you guys are doing. I mean, the energy. I was smiling from ear to ear listening to your intro and everything, and so. You guys there?
Say it one more time.
You still there? About that? You still there?
Yeah, go ahead. Say it one more time.
Hold on one second.
Did we lose you? Oh, there you are.
Hold on.
Are we still there?
You're back.
Yeah. So I just want to say I love what you guys are doing. I know you guys are pursuing your dream and pushing hard, and I hope it can help get more people out there, see what you guys are doing. So I love it. I love the energy, and keep doing your guys' thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. That means a lot to us, man. That means a lot to us, and
it really does.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We definitely are striving, to be number one. Never, always Always first and never second, never last, sir.
Yes.
You know, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we do.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's right, man.
We're going to get the
right.
baby Jesus for the desk over here pretty soon.
All right, Matt. So we're going to let you go, man. Enjoy yourself in Vegas like always. And I wish I was there with you, but I'm there in spirit. And you got to come to Chicago, man. We got to show you a great time here in Chicago as well, too. Whenever you come down, you always want to come down during the summertime. Don't come down here during the wintertime. Everybody's angry. So, you know.
I've been doing both, and I will choose the summer time, especially being a Vegas guy. And I love Chicago, love the food. I've been there a lot for work and stuff, and hopefully I can make it soon.
Yeah, I have you on my I have a cooking show, too, so I might have you on my cooking show as well, too. We
can
do that as well.
That's a good idea.
That's a deal, man. That's a deal. Let's get it on, man. But, Matt Jaskol, thank you so much, man. I want you to have a great day, and we'll be in contact soon. Everybody, put your hands together for Matt Jaskol. Yeah. All right. So that was Matt Jaskol's, everybody. Man, it was such a great time to actually have him on the show with us. Thank you guys so much for being here on the show to actually see another great gem of the world, man. That guy is amazing,
He is such a humble guy for all of his accomplishments. Man. Oh my goodness. We could not at all fit every single piece of what he's done in his titles below the screen.
We got to definitely have another show with him.
Have to. Because I feel like we didn't even get to talk about a third of all the things that this man has accomplished.
Right.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been such a great Thursday.
Yes.
I really enjoyed coming in and interviewing today.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to say, one of the things about, with gems of the world like Matt Jaskol is, he's multi-talented. He has that race car driving piece, but then he also has the skydiving, doing the stunts as well too, based off of just connecting the dots as far as who he is as a person, right? And then loving where he lives, right? Las Vegas. Why not?
He was a skydiving. What do you say? Elvi?
Yeah, which is
it was
Elvis.
a skydiving Elvis, but they call it skydiving Elvi.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that?
Man, thank you very much. Right?
Jump off this plane.
We got to get out of here, everybody, with my co-host Valerie and Malesio. We want to thank you guys so much for being here on the show with us. Don't forget this Saturday, 2 more days. I'll give you one. And then we got my man Andy Hope Williams. He is the hood candidate. Will be here in the loft with us talking about his political run as far as being a 2020 candidate of the world, actually, for the president. So we're going to have a nice, great conversation as far as with him. But thank you guys so much for tuning in with us here on Thursday. And trust me, we got more coming for you. But we got to get out of here, everybody, as we end off the show. Just like this.